Okay, welcome. So, the reason why I'm doing this video pre-recorded is to talk about something that I noticed it happened yesterday, but I didn't talk about it topic wise because it didn't come up, but it was something I thought would be necessary to talk about, uh, given we're on a social media platform, right? So it's regarding the Section 230. If no one knows what that is, it's this law that was passed back in the 90s, protected a lot of companies, social media companies, from liabilities uh, based on content that's on their platform, right? So it looks like Section 230 is about to get erased and thrown to the wayside, given this landmark case that happened uh, Thursday, I believe. It was pretty interesting. So let's just take a look. In this landmark case here, we have it's actually Wednesday, the 25th, 2026. So Meta was found guilty, and Google uh, for found liable, pretty much saying guilty, of designing their platform to be addicted to children. Okay, that's a big, big deal. So with this new findings, right? There's punitive damages that were found for this person in California. There's about 1,000 lawsuits right now across the country, and it looks like Meta and Google are going to have to pay a significant amount of money. This could go into the billions. This could pretty much set a precedence for all social media companies going forward, and they're going to be way much more cautious on what goes on their platforms. Seeing that right now, uh, this has just happened, so like lawmakers now are starting to look at like, okay, what does this mean for us going forward? So Section 230 is going to get reviewed, and it's going to get probably revoked, because if the companies can be found liable, then that means the law itself is no good. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, because they were hiding behind it, because all like there were things that were happening to children online. Live streams were going on with kids getting hurt. Abuse was being addressed on there, and the lawmakers weren't doing anything about it. And the companies weren't doing anything about it because they were hiding behind that Section 230. But now, because lawmakers are it's starting to pick up, attention and everything, so lawmakers are going to jump on this and get it situated. So with this, um, let's look at what Section 230 is. So, what is Section 230? So the Communications Decency Act in 1996. Back in the 90s, they passed this law. It protected online platforms from being legally held responsible for the content posted by their users, right? Now, this was often called the 26 words that created the internet, pretty much. That's what people were treating this as, because back then in 96, it was like Netscape and was it Yahoo and AOL. So this liability shield, it has the Section 230C1. It states that no provider or user of an interactive computer shall be service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another. This prevents you from suing the platform for defamatory posts or review written by someone else. Well, you know what? Now that's not the case. So this is where it starts to become a problem. So the Good Samaritan protection. This is Charlie 2. We had Charlie 1, this is Charlie 2, same section. Allows companies to moderate or remove content found objectionable, such as spam harassment, in good faith without losing their legal immunity. Now, because this piece here is violating this piece, the both do not, they're not valid anymore. That's pretty much what's happening. So, why it mattered was because Section 230 was the defense that a lot of these companies were using. So they could not be held responsible. This has become a pretty much unavoidable problem that they need to now address. So what's shifting is no more will this be used because they can be found liable and they know that they have created a product that is addictive and it's punitive to children and young adults that are being bullied online or their self-esteem is affected and all that stuff. Although I didn't grow up like that. Social media doesn't affect me that way, but there are people that are affected across the nation, and unfortunately for them, they don't get uh, the protections that they deserve or any type of you know situation where they can be not able to sue when they need to because these companies are hiding behind something for years. Well, I also believe that parents need to monitor their children a little better. If you know your child's going to do something online, then monitor it. It falls on the parents too. You can't just use the naivete of, oh well, I don't know what my child's doing online. You can't do that. You got to hold some responsibility too. It's everybody's fault. All right, it's the lawmakers' fault for passing this law to protect these guys. It's the company's fault for creating these apps that became super addictive to the children, and it's the parents' fault for allowing their kids to be able to get access to this stuff. So yeah, you could say, well, they shouldn't have created it in the first place, but you got to go all the way back to the top, right? Where it started. It started because of this 230, like Section 230 kind of gave them all the protective shields that they needed to move forward without any prejudice on them. Well, I think the social media companies now are on notice. My opinion on this. Also, my opinion is we might see changes going on in the next probably couple of years. Pretty serious. Like you'll probably see like certain policies changing in the Meta, Google. You'll probably see a lot of like uh checks and balances being done. They'll probably like remove the ability for anyone under a certain age to be creating accounts, but they would just have to verify that. Like, how are they going to verify it? What database are they going to use? They can't pull PII. They can only get the info that's given to them. You know. So what are they going to do? That's the piece that's not being talked about. But uh, well, this is going to be interesting going forward. I am looking forward to seeing like how does this go in like how do we as society move past this where the social media companies are kind of like changing how we act as people. Will we go back to the days where we used to just congregate in person? Or is just this going to be the play where people have to be monitored constantly online by regulators because we couldn't do it ourselves? That's been my take on it. BVaz out. See you guys at 3 o'clock.